I'm tired. Truth be told, I've been tired for a little while now, folks. And I've been contemplating whether I should make this video for a long time now, but I think it's kind of gotten to the point where I just need to sit down and have a bit of a vent to you guys, the community. I kind of made my thoughts known in a community post that I dropped a couple of weeks ago now, but I know that not all of you are going to see that with how YouTube pushes content out to you guys. So this is going to be a similar style thought dump, if you will, in video form. I'm going to be yapping quite a bit with this one, so I hope you bear with me, and I hope you guys enjoy the background gameplay nonetheless. But ultimately, I've been in this YouTube and content creator business for a very long time now. I got into it at a very young age. As of a couple of days ago, I got into it officially 12 years ago, because I wanted to translate my love for gaming, and more specifically my love for first-person shooters, into a medium that I could not only use to give some value back to the community as a whole, and maybe have my own little impact or slice of good in the space, but to also see some value given back to me and the personal gain that I see out of my life and my time gaming. And to be clear, when I say that, that's not about me turning this channel into a money printing machine or becoming the most followed channel on the net, so on and so forth. No, it's about me bringing a sense of value, accomplishment, and greater meaning to myself as someone who is dropping hundreds of hours on the computer just playing video games. It was a hobby for me and I was perfectly content with that, but I kind of wanted that time to mean something more fulfilling to me, and if I could make it so for others in the same way as well. And over those 12 years now, I've been blessed with that very opportunity in ways that I have never would have dreamt of, and I'm forever thankful for that. I identified my niche, and I did pretty well in it over multiple chapters. But there's also no denying that my niche of choice, being first-person shooter games, has been wearing thin on the old patience meter over the last few years, hey folks. I think a lot of you out there can relate in the same way when we take a look at the industry over the last few years. There's been disappointment after disappointment. There were games such as Titanfall 2, Leap, and Hyperscape that I loved very much for their innovation that just failed to stick the landing for multiple reasons. There's the Battlefield and the PlanetSide franchises that just feel like they've been mismanaged at multiple points in their lifespan, stripping them of their potential. There's of course the Call of Duty franchise, which just continues to act more and more like a storefront over a game, with its insane skill-based matchmaking and engagement-optimized matchmaking powering the whole experience. And then of course, the most recent heartbreak for me, BattleBit Remastered, which just for whatever reason can't seem to commit to releasing an update for over 10 months. You know, the list just goes on and on, guys, and the problem with that is that I like to consider myself an optimist by nature. Of course, I try to apply a lens of realistic expectations every time I get my optimistic self a little bit excited about something, but I've always gone through life with the goal of being a glass half full wherever I can be. It's just a personal preference, I guess. And when I started my YouTube channel all those years ago, that was always the pillar in which I wanted to operate under as well, sharing my excitement for the industry while being grounded, and maybe connecting with people who share that excitement with me over the years, celebrating the wins of the industry and experiencing those wins together, whilst calling out the odd occasion where there isn't a win and there's a loss and we need to hold the industry accountable. But I think we can all agree that the online FPS space in particular is one that has made that extremely hard to do as of late. Every time that there appears to be this glimmer of hope, it almost feels immediately squashed by something. Like we can't seem to get a win as a community at the moment. And look, there's plenty of content to farm as bad news continuously hits the industry. You guys have been seeing me do it for the last little bit on the channel now. The channel has had a very negative sentiment over the last few months in particular, and unfortunately that's also the content that gets the views as well, because let's be real, the internet loves drama. But as much as bad news gets the views and it's always easy to come and make a rant piece on a game that's, you know, done another blunder, it's not really what I set out to achieve with my channel here. I got into making multiplayer FPS gaming content to share the excitement, passion, competitiveness, and the tips and tricks of the community that I loved. Not to have a good whinge every 5 minutes because we have yet again gotten another shitty update or a company engaging in shitty practices within this genre. You know, I upload a video about BattleBit as of late, and it's not some informative piece of content that I really deep down want to make, but it's just another opinion or rant piece about the state of the game. And sure, I could just get back to making that informative content. But with the update supposedly right around the corner and able to launch at any time, there's really no point in me making guides for a game that is meant to change from the ground up at any moment now. It's why I've not done any weapon reviews for the game because, you know, the time to kill balance is meant to change drastically over the next couple of months, which is going to render all of that content that I make completely useless after the fact. I'm going to have to redo it all, which just makes no sense as a creator as well. And while I could just jump on and start milking the next Call of Duty game for content as an FPS channel, man, I don't know about you guys, but I think I would rather get a vasectomy from a drunk homeless man with garden shears. The Omni movement in that game looks cheesy and frustrating to play against. The SBMM I know is just going to be unbearable, and I've already seen footage of hackers going ham in that game on TikTok. I frankly could give less of a shit about COD right now, despite it being arguably the most consistent game to make content on in the first-person shooter genre right now. So it leaves me in a really tricky spot as a creator in trying to re-identify the type of content that I want to make. While I still have a passion for the online FPS games genre and I want to talk about them and make informative content about them, dude, I just feel like I'm sitting here with a blank canvas to work with, but I've been given no paint to actually paint a picture. And I hate that because I want to continue making content that satisfies both my own personal needs, but also acts as a source of uplift for you guys, the community. So with that, I think a change does need to come over time. It might not be entirely evident out of the gate, but you guys are likely going to start seeing new games and commentaries from me on the channel that will look a little out of place for me traditionally. Strange almost at times. I think the first steps are going to look like me checking out more single-player first-person shooter experiences, or games that have first-person shooter or third-person shooter elements that may sit in an entirely different genre, things like, I don't know, Deadlock, for example, which I've already been experimenting with as of late in the past, but I think it's time that I really start delving into that kind of stuff so I'm making content that I enjoy again. Just know, guys, that if I do start making a video with a game that otherwise looks out of place on the channel, it's probably because I'm enjoying it and I want to share it with you guys in some way. And that's more in line with what I set out to do with my channel originally. There's a few single player and co-op first-person shooter experiences that I've had my eyes on for a while now that I think would make for a really good addition to the channel. And truth be told, I've also been loving Space Marine 2 lately, and I kind of want to start publishing some content on that as well. Ultimately, guys, I just want to get out of this endless negative feedback loop that I've been stuck in for a while now. I enjoy a good bitch like everyone, and from time to time, it's exactly what you need to publish as a content creator. But I don't want it to be the driving force of my channel or my community. I've noticed that the community sentiment in the comment section has been endlessly negative as well, and while of course everyone is entitled to that view, and it doesn't surprise me at all that that view is there, I know that I myself as a content creator are also somewhat responsible for, you know, the kind of sentiment that sits within my community as well. And I think it's about time I start taking some agency in making the positivity come back again and finding the good in this industry, to which I hope you guys are all keen to join that journey for as well. At the end of the day, guys, I'm not going anywhere, and there are going to be some changes around here that better reflect what I want to make as a content creator. It also doesn't mean that things like BattleBit and PlanetSide 2 are completely off the cards for videos in the future. In fact, I'll probably still make regular videos about BattleBit Remastered as we get more news or hit more milestones, which I will admit are not great milestones for the game, but they're coming, and I do want to make videos on those should we need to do so. I'm also not going to pull the wool over my eyes and stop making negative/criticism-based content as need be. But I've noticed a change in my sentiment around content creation lately, and I need to tackle that head on by making the changes I need to make in order to still enjoy this game. And once again, I hope you guys are around for the journey. I'm very keen to have a discussion with you guys in the comment section down below, and if you've got any game suggestions you'd like to see me cover, then send them down below too, guys. I'll take all of the suggestions in the world for what games you're enjoying right now, because hey, it might lead to some really cool discoveries that we can do some content on as well. But until next time, guys, I'll either see you in the next video or over on our Twitch channel on a Twitch stream. First link in the description down below, by the way. Peace out, guys. Have a good start to your week, and I'll catch you all in the next one.